Good afternoon, everyone. I am very excited to welcome you all to our 4Blue New Jersey Wellness Webinar Series. My name is Jess Correa, and I'm a mental health specialist and wellness specialist at Rutgers University Behavioral Healthcare. 4BlueNJ is a peer support program and helpline that works to support corrections officers and all correctional facility staff. Throughout our webinar, you'll be hearing from our 4Blue New Jersey peers, and we hope to hear from you as well. We will be recording this webinar for those who were unable to attend. Even if your camera is on, your picture will not be displayed. However, if you'd feel more comfortable being off camera or changing your name, we'll give you a minute to do so before we go ahead with the recording. We have designed this webinar to learn more about each and every one of you and how our program can better support your needs. As we move forward with today's webinar, we will mention corrections officers, and it's important that we identify that we're speaking in reference to any staff member in a correctional facility setting. On your screens, you'll see our flyer, which may look familiar if you've seen it around your workplace. Please take a look at our upcoming webinars and remember to register for those as well. The 4Blue NJ Lifeline is part of the National Center for Peer Support at Rutgers University. Our peer support program utilizes the reciprocal peer support for wellness model to provide peer specific support. So when you call in to speak to someone, we can assure you that the person answering your call comes from a similar background as you. On your screens now, you'll see our flyer, which again may look familiar. We encourage you all to take a picture of this flyer, which highlights all of our important information. Even if you may not be in need of our services or support at this time, you never know when someone at work may benefit from our assistance. I'd like to take a quick moment to introduce you to our peer support specialist and leader at 4BlueNJ, Cherie Castellano, Kelly Perkins, Angela Hinton, and Earl Williams. Some of our peers have joined us today and will be introducing themselves further in the chat. We'd also love to hear from you and invite you to introduce yourselves by telling us your name, your position, and what correctional facility you're representing in the chat. Our mission here at 4BlueNJ is to provide peer support for New Jersey corrections officers and staff in correctional facilities. Our team is comprised of peers who are retired corrections officers and COP clinicians. They understand the challenges you face every day on the job and can relate to your stressors. Our services at 4BlueNJ include peer prevention, wellness webinars, QPR for correction officer resilience, peer intervention, corrections peer support, telehealth, telephonic clinical assessments, access to our first responder network, referrals, resources, peer postvention and psychological first aid, and critical stress management. At the 4Blue New Jersey Lifeline, we have built our foundation on the wellness approach to resilience by Dr. Peggy Swarbrick. The 8 dimensions of wellness model has been adopted by SAMHSA, and we have identified it as a key model to self care. Although we would love to spend time focusing on each dimension of wellness, today's webinar will focus on spiritual and environmental wellness. We'll be learning about the other dimensions in our upcoming webinars. Let's turn our focus to our first dimension of wellness, which is spiritual wellness. Spiritual wellness is having personal values and beliefs and acting compassionately in accordance to those values. Personal values and beliefs may change throughout the course of a lifetime, taking shape through the influence of relationships, events, and personal experiences. Gratitude is a great way to enhance your spiritual wellness. Gratitude is the feeling of appreciation and thanks. One way to practice gratitude is by starting a gratitude journal. Gratitude journals focus on positive things in your life. It can help lower stress levels, provide a sense of calm, and a new level of clarity. Writing in a gratitude journal about the things you're grateful for can help you maintain a positive mindset, especially throughout difficult times. If journaling is new to you, we have a list of journal prompts on the screen that can help get your thoughts flowing. Asking yourself these questions can help enhance your spiritual wellness. The first question is, what is the best part about today? I'm going to open that question up to all of you and encourage you to share your responses with us in the chat. Our peers will be responding in the chat as well. You can keep those answers coming as we move on to some other helpful ways to enhance your spiritual wellness. You can also enhance your spiritual wellness through meditation, prayer, yoga, spending time in nature. We will be practicing some of these strategies throughout the webinar as well. Now let's take a spiritual wellness quiz to see if there are any areas that could use some improvement, or maybe you have your spiritual wellness down pat. I'll give you all a minute to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm going to be reading these questions aloud, and you can jot down your answers as I go through. There's a total of 10 questions regarding what you do to maintain your social wellness, spiritual wellness. And the scoring is on a scale from 1 to 4. I will read each statement. You can jot down how often you engage in the activity being described. 1 being rarely, if ever, 2 being sometimes, 3 being most of the time, and 4 being always. The first statement is I have a deep appreciation for the depth of life, death, and understanding universal human connection or consciousness. 1, if you have this feeling rarely, if ever. 2 for sometimes. 3 for most of the time. And 4 for always. Number 2, I recognize that there are many spiritual paths and that every spiritual tradition recognizes and teaches basic precepts or laws of wise and conscious human conduct while seeking qualities of altruism, optimism, hope, and forgiveness. Number 3, I integrate my spiritual practice within everyday life of work, family, and relationships. Number 4, I make time for relaxation in my day. I take time alone to think about what's important to me in life, who I am, and what I value. Number 5, I fit in and I know where I'm going. Number 6, I have faith in a greater power, be it a godlike force or something else. Number 7, I work for peace in my interpersonal relationships, in my community, and in the world at large. Number 8, my values guide my decisions and actions. Number 9, I have a sense of purpose in my life. And lastly, number 10, I am accepting of the views of others. Let's take a few moments to add up your scores. The highest score you could get is a 40. So if you're close to 40, you can congratulate yourself for prioritizing your spiritual wellness. And if your score surprised you in any way, you can take a moment to reflect back on the questions and see if there's any specific areas that could use some improvement. Now let's take a few minutes to put meditation into practice and give ourselves permission to relax.
Hey there, and thanks for gifting yourself these next few minutes. It's important to remember that you're a priority, and allowing yourself even just a few short minutes of intentional reflection can really have a positive impact on the rest of your day. So let's use these next few minutes to come back to center and set an intention for the rest of your day. Move into a comfortable position, whether you're seated at your desk at work or laying on the couch at home, and gently close your eyes and shift all of your attention onto your breathing, taking slower, deeper breaths than you've taken all day so far. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and slowly letting it out through your mouth. And continuing to breathe that way, feeling your lungs expand out as you inhale and contract back in as you exhale. Tune into your body, noticing how it feels. Noticing if there's anything that it's trying to tell you. Notice any place of tension or tightness in your body. And give those areas permission to relax, sending love into those areas. Thank your body for taking such good care of you, and let it know that it's okay to rest and relax for these next few minutes. You may notice that your mind starts to wander off. That's okay. That's natural. Just notice it and bring your attention back to your body, using your breath as your anchor. Try to picture one thing that's happened today that's made you smile, or made you thankful or appreciative. And just let that feeling fill you up for a moment. Breathe that feeling in from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And allow yourself to smile if that feels natural. Now focus on something that you can do today, whether it's for yourself or for someone else, that will allow you to continue feeling this way. It could be something as small as deciding to go to bed early tonight, so that you have time to finally read that book that's been on your bedside table. Or the joy of getting dinner with a close friend. What's one little thing you can plan for your day to bring that intentional joy to it? Now just focus on that for a few minutes. Sit in that feeling of joy and peace. Now let's take a few more deep breaths together. A deep breath in, feeling your lungs expand out as you inhale, and everything contract back in as you exhale. Again, an even deeper breath than the one before it, holding that breath for a beat, and exhaling everything out. Last time, your deepest breath yet, sending that breath through your entire body. And exhale it out. And in your own time, slowly bring your awareness back to where you are. And thank yourself for taking these few minutes to just be intentional and kind to yourself. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and enjoy the rest of your day.
Hope everyone feels nice and relaxed after that. When you're ready, slowly bring your attention back to your screens and we'll continue on to the next dimension of wellness. The next dimension we'll be focusing on is environmental wellness, which is having good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support well being. It promotes interaction with nature and creating an enjoyable personal environment both in and out of your workspace. Environmental wellness refers to leading a lifestyle that values the relationship between ourselves, our community, and the environment. The core principle of environmental wellness is respect for all nature and all living species in it. You can foster your environmental wellness by picking up trash, spending time outdoors, biking or walking for your commute, using reusable bags and water bottles, being mindful of your water use, recycling, going to the farmer's market, turning off lights and computers, unplugging from technology, and donating unwanted clothing. Time for another quick quiz. So grab that piece of paper and pen again and jot down your answers as I read through the quiz questions aloud. Again, there's a total of 10 questions regarding what you do to maintain your environmental wellness. And the scoring scale is the same from 1 to 4. I will be reading each statement. You can jot down how often you engage in the activity being described. 1 being rarely, if ever, 2 being sometimes, 3 being most of the time, and 4 being always. First statement is I am concerned about environmental pollution and actively try to preserve and protect natural resources. If I see a safety hazard, I take the steps to fix the problem. Number 3, I reduce, reuse, and recycle products. Number 4, I live with the awareness of wholeness and the interconnectedness of all living systems. Number 5, I use both sides of the paper when taking notes. Number 6, I have adopted water saving habits. For example, trying not to leave the faucet running too long when you wash dishes, brush your teeth. Number 7, I participate in events that help my community. Food drives, fundraisers, planting trees, disaster reliefs. Number 8, I spend time outdoors enjoying nature. Number 9, I use eco-friendly products, eco-friendly cleaning supplies, organic products, energy efficient appliances. And lastly, number 10, I walk, bike, use public transportation, or carpool when I can. Okay, I'll give you all a few moments to add up those scores. Again, the highest score you can get is a 40 here. So if you're close to 40, great job. Sounds like your environmental wellness is thriving. And if there are any surprises here, take a moment to look back at those statements and see if there's any specific areas where you could improve. Now that we have an idea of how environmental wellness plays a role in our day to day, we're going to be showing a video depicting the effects of changing your environment and how you can make the transition between environments beneficial for yourself and those around you.
One of the hardest things for first responder couples to navigate is that transition home after shift. So if you and your family struggle to navigate this time, you're not alone. My best advice when it comes to this is don't act like it's just going to happen smoothly all on its own. Get ahead of it. Have conversations early and often about what this needs to look like for the two of you in order for you both to be your best selves. On top of that, you have to acknowledge that there are some other things at play here that are making this transition home so much harder than other professions, such as the hypervigilance biological roller coaster, so famously talked about by Dr. Kevin Gilmartin in his book, Emotional Survival for Law Enforcement. This is the description of that very heightened mental state that is required of first responders while on shift, responding to potentially life-threatening situations that unfortunately impacts them physically and mentally as soon as they transition home. Listen to Dr. Gilmartin and I talk about what's happening for first responders on and off shift and what couples can do about it.
First responders are up here. So when they get off duty, it goes equal and opposite. So the energized, alert, quick decision maker becomes the detached, isolated person who just wants to be left alone, doesn't want to engage, doesn't want to make decisions, doesn't even want to speak. And if couples don't understand that, the relationship really can get fractured. We lose so many solid marriages and families because of this transition home from work that we don't help them prepare for. And it's tragic to watch that over the years.
That's right. Couples, when you don't understand this as a physiological process, you start to take it personal. Like they don't like us, they don't want to be home, they enjoy work more. That may not be the case. You have to have this conversation and see it for what it is and discuss this before they come home. You can work this out. It's different for everyone, but I encourage you to have the conversation. For more information from Dr. Gilmartin, check out your emotional survival section in
Changing environments and preparing for that change is a very important step in maintaining healthy relationships between work life and home life. We're going to be practicing a self care activity that can be used when transitioning from work to home and from home to work by making the most out of your car's environment.
your cortical wellness.
The stretches you see here, we'll be practicing together. They're great to do when you get to work and park in the parking lot. They can get you ready for the day, both physically and mentally. You can also practice these stretches after work by doing them when you get home. When you drive up to your home, take a few minutes to decompress by doing these 4 stretches before you walk into your next environment. These stretches can help release stress from the workday and shake off any built up tension. I'll be demonstrating these stretches and I'll encourage you all to try them with me. Let's get started. Okay, the first stretch is called the anterior shoulder stretch. For this one, you're going to want to sit up straight with both feet flat on the floor. Lean forward slightly and grab the seat behind you, extending your arms as you continue to lean forward. And we'll hold this for 8 to 10 breaths. Second position is called spinal twist. So you're going to twist your back and face your seat with your feet flat on the floor. So twist that upper body so that you're looking out the back of your window if you were in a car, just looking backwards for now. Grip the seat with both hands and take 8 to 10 breaths. And when you're ready, you can switch sides. So you'll want to twist the other way. We'll hold this again for 8 to 10 breaths. Okay, for our next position, you're going to sit up straight in your seat with your feet flat on the floor. Raise your right arm, drop your right hand behind you. You're going to reach over with your left hand and grab that right elbow. And we'll hold for 8 to 10 breaths. When you're ready, you can switch arms. So you'll drop that left arm, and your right hand will grab your left elbow. And lastly, you're going to sit tall with both feet flat on the floor. Reach your arms straight out in front of you and interlace your fingers with your palms facing inward. You're going to arch your back to create a C shape with your torso. Round out those shoulder blades. Drop your head and hold for 8 to 10 breaths. Okay, I hope everyone feels a little bit more relaxed. I'll leave this slide up for a moment in case anyone would like to take a picture of these stretches. As we wrap up the webinar, we wanted to share some final tips and thoughts to take with you and highlight the benefits of enhancing your spiritual and environmental wellness. Some spiritual wellness benefits help you cope with trauma of diagnosis and treatment. They can reduce anxiety, stress, anger, and depression, can enhance the quality of your life, and increase feelings of inner peace and hope. Some environmental wellness benefits are the feelings of calm and relaxation, taking pride in your surroundings, harmonizing with nature, having deeper relationships with family and friends, finding tranquility in the environment, and involvement in your community. Some overall enhanced wellness benefits are boosting morale, positivity, and enthusiasm, increasing employee engagement, reducing stress and anxiety, enhancing problem solving skills, improving corporate culture and public image, reducing sick days and healthcare costs, and controlling chronic diseases. And lastly, some simple reminders we'd like to share before you go. Check in with your peers, see if anybody could use some support, practice gratitude, make note of those things that you're thankful for throughout the day. Give yourself some time to adjust to new environments when you're going from work to home and from home to work. Reach out to your support system, your family, your friends, our helpline, and practice wellness techniques regularly. When you're in your car, you can try those stretches, practice meditation, take a few minutes each day, and try to practice some self care. Thank you all again so much for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed our webinar and learned some new information. And just a reminder, our next webinar will be on March 20th, where we will be going over physical and intellectual wellness. Thank you again. We hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.